Good morning here. How you guys doing today? This is Curtis at tomato.pictures. That's www.tomato.pictures. And I have a list here of 10 things that I do with my tomatoes. Um, these are all heirloom tomatoes from my garden. You can see every one of them just here. Everything. All my heirlooms. The little black ones, the little heart-shaped ones, the even blacker ones. All of these tomatoes I just recently, like in the last 20 minutes, harvested from my garden. These are some herbs, some oregano and some thyme, and some thyme, oregano, and some basil that I'm going to tell you what I do with them. Here are 10 things that I do with my tomatoes, and there are more than 10. Actually, not more than 10, but these are just 10 of the things that I'm going to bring to you today, and maybe mention one or two other ones. One of the very first things that I do with my tomatoes that I have to do every year, it's imperative that I do that, is I save seed. See that right there? I save seed. I save seed because it is the most important thing that any gardener can do. Any heirloom gardener can do to preserve a variety and a kind. It's to save seed from your garden. Okay? So I save seed. These here are tomato seeds that I've already dried out. They're sitting on a screen door that I cut into pieces. And this is a German stripe, German pinks that I have here. This is just some of the seeds that I've saved this year. That will be in my, for sale later on. But I save seed. Number one thing I do is save seed. The second thing I do, let me get my list here, is I can or I freeze. I can. Here we have some tomato relish. This is from my last year's batch that I've almost done. But I've started making some more again. But I can my tomatoes because canning is a really good way of preserving good food. There are no chemicals involved. It's just water, a little other vinegar or whatever I use, and I can them up. And so that's the second thing I do. I put the date on my can so I know when it was done. And yep, I can. Second thing I do is can. The third thing I do is, I don't have any here today, but I do make fried green tomatoes. I love fried green tomatoes. As a matter of fact, I picked a couple of green tomatoes this morning. These are the gold medal varieties, but they're not perfect specimens. So I picked them. I don't use these for seed in any way, and I make fried green tomatoes with them. Hopefully I'll give you my recipe soon. It's really simple, and anyone can make it, and it's beautiful. So I make fried green tomatoes. That's number 3. Number 4, I make spaghetti sauce. See that dripping right there? Spaghetti sauce. I make spaghetti sauce. Delicious. I have a couple of fantastic recipes for spaghetti sauce with heirloom tomatoes. Beautiful. You couldn't go wrong with this one. I also make other things using spaghetti sauce. Number 5, as I don't want to spill it, but I may have to. Soup. Tomato soup. I gotta stand up for this one. This here is tomato soup. Delicious. See it dripping right there? In this soup I have, see that? I have onions, carrots, peppers. So beautiful. I have the recipe. This is probably one of the best things recipes you're ever gonna taste. It's beautiful and it's quick. It's a 25-minute deal and you're done. I promise you. So that's the next thing I do, which is number 5. I make tomato soup. The next thing I do is make, look at that there. I make beautiful salsa. Can you see that? It's gonna spill, but it's gonna have to. I make beautiful salsa right there. I make salsa. Fresh salsa. That's the way to go. I get some chips. I dip them in. So good. Okay? The next thing I do is which I don't have any right now, is I dried my tomatoes. I dry them. I don't use the sun. I use a machine. But I dry tomatoes, and the drying tomatoes bring out brings out the flavor in them, and you can use them in many different recipes. The next thing I do, this one should be pretty simple. This one shouldn't spill. The next thing I do is I make. See that right there? I make paste. That's paste right there. Tomato paste. It's different to the tomato sauce, which you can see here. This is tomato paste. And this too is really, really, for me, this is so good. I season my paste. So tomato paste is another thing I do. The next thing I do is I share with my friends. I share my tomatoes with my friends. I do. Because it's important to share. Part of the joy in gardening is sharing. So I share with my friends, my neighbors, people that don't have a garden, people that love tomatoes. There's so much nutrition in tomatoes, so much good stuff, lycopene. There's so much good stuff in tomatoes that I think everyone should eat tomatoes regularly, not only in tomato season, but all through the year. Okay? For me, the next thing I do is I sell at my local farmers market. That's number 8. I sell at my local farmers market. I've been there for this is my 13th year. I sell starts and I sell my fruit, and it's an awesome thing. I don't have a stand in front of my home, but I go to my local farmers market here in Bloomington, Indiana, and I sell tomato starts, and I sell awesome heirloom tomatoes. The next thing I do is I eat them right out of the garden. Here I have a beautiful small Paul Robeson that I love. This is one of the very delicious variety of tomatoes. I eat my tomatoes right out of my garden. So good. That is very good. Paul Robeson's. I have a lot of seeds this year. You should get some. These tomatoes are awesome, awesome, awesome. And the very last thing I do is I share my garden with people that are my neighbor. My garden is not a big garden. I hope to bring it to you next year. Right now it's a little bit crappy because it's August and I've just started doing these videos, and everything is going down sort of. It's coming up on the 1st of September. So we had really bad weather here this year, and the tomatoes didn't hold up very well. So yes. So I will bring my garden to you in full bloom next spring, end of spring, summer, so you can see exactly my spots and how I grow my tomatoes, how I save seed. I'll show you my greenhouse that I have right here. It's not a big greenhouse. I don't grow in a big greenhouse. It's a 20 by 15. It's heated and it's air conditioned. I don't know why plants need air conditioned, but when we got the place, it had this building, and that's one of the reasons why we purchased it. Okay. So those are the 10 things that you can do with your tomatoes. I'll run the list down for you really fast. I might miss some, but and there might be some more. I save seed. I make spaghetti sauce. I make fried green tomatoes. Oh, the one I missed that I want to tell you was just salt and pepper on a ripe tomato is beautiful. You just slice them up, you put a little bit of black pepper and some salt, and you're good to go. Tomatoes are delicious like that. I eat, I would say, during the day, about 50% of my tomatoes like that, and the other 50% mostly just in meals, in dishes. Okay. The other thing you do is you can make a tomato sandwich. I make a beautiful tomato sandwich in which I put basil, ricotta cheese, olive oil on some toasted bread. That stuff is nice big slice of tomato like this German stripe right here. You put that down the middle, put a little bit of basil on top, some oil, some ricotta cheese, you're good to go. I make sandwiches. I make a lot of sandwiches. Thing is, I try and stay off too much carbs. So sometimes it's just cheese. It's just cheese and tomatoes, That's how I go. Yeah, okay. So I make sandwiches, I make salsa, I dry tomatoes, I share it with my friends, I sell at the market, I sell my starts, tomato plants, and I do sell the fruits when they're here. And that's it. Those are the 10 things that I do with my heirloom tomatoes. I hope you enjoy this. Number one thing should be saving seed. If you save seed, you're always going to have a garden. Heirloom seeds are not going anywhere. When you save heirloom tomato seeds, make sure you save them from the right type. Make sure the tomato is not distorted or contorted. I believe that a contorted tomato, people think heirloom tomatoes should be like all ugly. I do not believe that. I believe if you save seed from the right type, it comes out to be true from the right type. If you can, before you save seed, try and isolate your tomatoes, have them a little distance apart. If you're just an avid gardener and not like you saving seed to sell, then maybe you can have them 20 feet apart. You can put two plants here and two plants there of the same kind, and so your seeds should be safe. But remember, even if you see strange looking tomatoes, those are not the ones you want to save seed from. Okay? Peace. Happy gardening. I look forward to the fall. I have a lot of greens coming up, and even though this is not a greens website, I want to tell you greens are good for you too. Okay? Peace. Be blessed. This is Curtis at tomato.pictures. Visit me for beautiful images of awesome pictures of tomatoes, information, some of my stories, and a lot of good stuff on tomato.pictures. Thanks again. Bye.